So hi guys, really good to see you all again, this time almost predictably out of the sunshine and back into the study. So this is not brought to you by Sports Direct. That's just a weird coincidence. Every time I'm talking to you guys I'm drinking out of this big Sports Direct mug. So look, as actors and filmmakers, creatives, freelancers, screenwriters, we're all familiar with the need to audition, to do meetings, to network, and in our parlance, to work the room, okay? And I think everybody finds that difficult to some degree or other. So I just wanted to address that a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a very good industry speed dating workshop that was set up by BBC Northern Ireland, and it was primarily for screenwriters. Now, I wasn't able to go to a lot of the events because I was working in my day job as a compositor and digital artist on a TV show. So I was able to pop out late in the evening for this one particular event. Now, the guys had been working together in this kind of symposium for, I think, 2 days of workshops. When I got there, there was a number of people just stuck to the walls waiting to meet other people. Now, my assumption was, and I think it's a reasonable one, that people would have by that point broken the ice and sort of, got to know each other and have jumped in and met each other and introduced themselves, so on and so forth. But a lot of people just were sitting, they're kind of looking anywhere other than catching eye contact with people, and really not making any effort to kind of talk or to meet some of the industry leads who were there, which struck me as at once a feeling that you could totally relate to, but at the same time, we're old enough and wise enough to know better, sort of thing. So I decided just to jump in and just go and work the room, as they say. And a friend from Queen's days, from the film department at Queen's, Robert J. Simpson, was co-hosting the event, and he did a very good job in setting us all at ease and introducing us as freelancers to the various industry heads who were there, and coordinating the night. By the way, Robert writes a lot about film and he's an expert on Hammer House, so if that's your thing, you should go along to www.avalard.co.uk, that's AVALARD.co.uk, and say hello to Robert, and I'm sure you'll have lots in common. So Robert said to me afterwards, he says, "Man, boy, you really worked the room." And that was a nice compliment to get, but the thing was that I just made a resolution that I was just going to go and meet people. That's what I was there for. That was the whole raison d'etre of the whole event. And whether I felt like it or not, I was going to make myself appear to be cheerful, friendly, and interested in other people. Not so much interesting. Perhaps it's something that I feel at trying too hard to be interesting. But really, if we go into these meetings where we're interested and attentive to other people and to their projects and to them themselves, things tend to relax and open up a wee bit more rather than being a bit of blowhard. Okay, so the first thing really I want to say to you is, people say, "Oh, I can't do this networking thing. I hate meetings. I hate going in for auditions. I hate, I'm not that type of person. I'm creative. I'm not that type of person that can do these meetings." Now, this was said to me by several people that night. Get over yourself. Everybody feels that way. Everybody feels self-conscious. Everybody wants to be liked, and everybody has their a kind of roster of insecurities. Okay, so we're all in the same boat. Does that move things forward for us? No. We just have to just knuckle down and be the sort of person that we would like to meet. In other words, sincere, warm, attentive, and hopefully know something about what it is that we're there for, and we have a passion in common with those that we're meeting. Okay, so it's, there's no shortcuts around it. It's just like asking somebody out on a date, going for a job interview. If you want the goodies, you have to be prepared to step up and just work through that kind of social anxiety. It helps to realize that everybody else is feeling the same thing, okay? And then you can have fun breaking the ice and setting other people at their ease by taking an interest in them and just, listening, okay? So that's the first thing. Everybody feels the same. Everybody's keen to be liked, Everybody's there, really, they want to make contact. And I mean, I have made some major gaffes. I remember asking Jeffrey Perkins. I was present at one of these conferences as a runner, and over tea and biscuits, I asked Jeffrey Perkins if he worked in television as well. Now, Jeffrey Perkins just happened to be the guy who executive produced Father Ted and nearly revolutionised Channel 4's comedy output. And he sort of looked at me like, either this kid, because I was a kid at the time, is very smart and very funny, or he's a dickhead. And his silence sort of indicated that it was the latter in his opinion. It took him about a second to kind of make that trajectory in that mental process. But so and there was another time I was working with Robert Cooper, who's executive produced Truly Madly Deeply. He was heading up the BBC stuff, and I was away at a conference with him. He handed me his mobile phone and said, "Order a cab for such and such," and I had to say to him, "But I don't know how do you work a mobile phone?" I'd never used one before, and I felt like such a dick, right? So those things just happen where our little egos get kicked about a little bit, and we're not as au fait and debonair as we would like to pretend that we are. But you know what? Everybody's got to learn. Recently, we were at an event, and there was a gentleman who was standing slightly to one side, quiet chap. I invited him over and introduced him to the circle of friends that we were with, just wanting to include him. And he passed himself and had a nice chat and then went away. And then everybody turned to me and kind of like made out like I was some kind of idiot. And I said, "What's wrong? What did I do wrong?" And he went, "Do you not know who that is?" I was going, "Why would I know who that is?" And he said, "That's Brendan Gunn." And I went, "I'm sorry, who's Brendan Gunn?" He said, "That's Robert De Niro's dialogue coach. That guy's best friends with Brad Pitt. That guy is the top dialogue coach in Hollywood." And I'm going, well, does that make me an idiot because I had some manners and wanted to introduce him to everybody else? It was just being courteous. So, if those things are going to bother you, you just have to laugh it off, The key thing is just get over ourselves, move ahead, okay? And be prepared to make the mistakes, because we will. If we want pristine egos, if we want to never run the risk of looking like idiots, then fine, stay at home, play video games, watch movies all your life, and you'll be just fine. Nobody can ever criticise you. But if you step up, take the risks, just knuckle down, you'll actually find you're just going to start to really enjoy yourselves. One other little anecdote just before I wrap this up, because my goodness have I rambled on. And my apologies for that. I do try and keep the videos short. But one of the first theatre gigs I ever did, I remember turning up on the first day of rehearsals and looking at everybody, and they all seemed so pally and really relaxed around each other, and they all went for drinks after the show, and I was just thinking, well, these guys all know each other and they go back from years and years of working together, and I can't fit in here, and I'm not a big drinker, and I feel like like a sore thumb. Turned out 3 or 4 weeks into the tour that I was just sharing that feeling with some of the people that I got to know. And they says, "No, what are you talking about? None of us knew each other." I went, "What do you mean? I thought you had all worked together for years." And they went, "No, none of us." When we all met that first day, it was the first day for all of us. I was projecting my insecurities onto everybody else. Everybody was in exactly the same boat. The rest of the guys just kind of knuckled down, were friendly, just warm, and my assumption was, because I was coming from fear, was just like, oh no, they're all far more au fait than me. I was just confirming my own insecurities. In actual fact, they had no bearing on reality whatsoever. Okay, so since then I just kind of went, you know what, doesn't matter. Just be friendly, be warm, be sincere, be attentive to other people, be interested rather than interesting. And that will help break the ice. And the more you do it, like anything else, the easier it gets. And then it's actually quite fun, because you can sort of say to yourself, you know what, I used to really be nervous in this sort of context, and now I'm enjoying myself, and I'm helping other people enjoy themselves too. Listen, thank you so much for your patience, and also thank you for liking the $50 Film School Facebook page, and for getting behind the project as I continue to get the website finished up and the rest of the content created. That'll be coming soon, but it means a lot to me that you've been so supportive and sharing and liking and bearing with me as I'm learning Facebook. So, if you've got silly email requests and things left, right and centre, please forgive me, bear with us, and maybe pass on some of your tips about what's been helpful for you in learning to relax in meetings, in networking, in working the room. Anything that really works for you, and just setting yourself and others at ease. All right, enough from me. I'm going to enjoy my tea. God bless. See you soon.